Okay, this video goes through how to draw a sign diagram. So what is a sign diagram? It's basically a number line, and what it does, it shows when an expression is either positive or negative. So the y values are positive or negative, so you can sketch the graph. If we have a look at this example here, it's actually the first example in the previous video. So you've already got the working out for this, and you actually sketched it without a sign diagram. So what you found was you found the x-intercepts. They were 1, 3, minus 2, and the y-intercept was 6. What you also noted when you did that question was when you have a cubic of this form, if you expand out the x's, x times x times x, they're all positive, gives you x to the power of 3. So the shape of the cubic will be like that because it's a positive cubic. Using that information, you were able to sketch the graph. And this is an example of what you would have drawn. But let's say we didn't know that the cubic was in this direction. Say we didn't know that x to the power of 3 gave us, in this case, gave us this shape. We thought it could be the other way as well. How do we test for that? Well, that's when you use a sign diagram. By now, you should all be familiar with what a positive cubic of this form looks like and which direction it is in. So you wouldn't need to use a sign diagram. The other case where you would use a sign diagram is if the question obviously asks you. So let's delete the graph. Let's pretend we didn't know that the graph was that shape. What we can do is we can draw a table. You don't have to draw a table. Your textbook doesn't use a table. This is not the sign diagram, by the way. This is just helping us work out what the sign diagram is going to look like. You can just write the values down. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to, so these are just coordinates on the graph. Say we don't know what the graph looks like. You can see I've deleted the graph. We have found our x-intercepts. So if we go back to the start, we find our x-intercepts. Say we don't know what the graph looks like. We either draw up a table or just write down the x-intercepts. So our x-intercepts are minus 2. I'll write them in increasing order. So minus 2, 1, and 3. And the corresponding y value will obviously be 0 because they are the x-intercepts. Then we're going to put in, so you notice I put a gap here. We're going to put in a number in between. So between minus 2 and 1, you can pick whatever number you like. Pick an easy one, easy whole number, 0. Between 1 and 3, I'm going to pick the obvious one, which is 2. So any number above 3, whatever number you like. You put 100 if you like, but I'm just going to pick an easy one, 4. And pick a number below minus 2. So minus 3. And what I need to do to find the corresponding y value. So I just do a substitution. I sub minus 3 into the x values, and I find the corresponding y value. So I'll just sub them in. I've subbed them in already. So that's minus 24. If I sub 0 into where x is, I get the y value being 6. If I sub 2 into the x values, I end up getting the y value minus 4. And if I sub 4 into the x values, I get a y value or y coordinate, or a y value of 18, sorry, I should say y value. So these are all coordinates on the graph. So how does that help us draw the sign diagram? So our sign diagram is a number line, remember? So you just need to draw a line, a straight line. So this is our our number line, I should say. We put on our x-intercepts first, so we've put in our x-intercepts, so minus 2, 1, and 3, and that's where y equals 0. And this line represents x, so this is anything so up here we have anything above x. So on the y-axis, the positive section of the y-axis, that's positive. You don't have to write positive, but just to emphasize it. Down here is the negative section. So now we can draw our number line. So on our sign diagram, I should say. So where the x-intercepts are, we put a vertical line there. Just one line. I'm just putting double because my pen's playing up a little bit. So a straight line there, and then we say what is happening, say between minus, we'll look at this one first, between -2 and 1, between -2 and 1, what's happening? We know we pick the x value 0, but we need to look at the y value. What's happening to the y value? We just need to look if it's positive or negative. The y value between -2 and 1 is positive, so we draw a line up here. It doesn't matter where we draw as long as it's in the positive region. It's just showing us what's happening to the y value, if it's positive or negative. Doesn't matter the actual value itself. So between -1 and 3, between 1 and 3, I should say, between 1 and 3, what's happening to the y value? It's -4. The negative region's down here. So that's why it's down here. Greater, we have to do the ends as well. Greater than 3, what's happening to the y value? It's positive, so it's up this end. And if we look at this end here, so less than -2, what happens to the y value? The y value is -24. That's here. So how does it help us to draw the actual graph? That's positive, by the way. We draw a graph. That's fine. Okay, so we put our x-intercepts, 1, 3, -2. Up here, put 6. Then what's happening? So between -2 and 1, it's a positive graph. It's all positive. So that means it has to go through here somehow and has to come down. It's all in the positive y region. Positive y region. Between 1 and 3, it's in the negative y region. So between here and here, these 2 points, the negative y region. If you look on the ends, less than -2, the y values are negative. You can, even if you like, you can even sub in the point. So -3, -24. You could actually put that as a coordinate down there somewhere, and it will. So -3, -24 would be down there. And some people do it that way. It goes down that way. And if you do it, you can either use the graph this way and say greater than 3, it's in the positive region, or you can even just put in that point. So 418 would be somewhere up there, all the way up there somewhere. So the graph goes that way. And that's the same graph that we got before. Well, actually not exactly the same. It's similar. One interesting point when I say it's not exactly the same, the shape's the same, the x-intercept's the same, the y-intercept's the same, the turning points are not the same. So if we have a look at the other graph, if I want to draw the correct graph, this one would be the actual correct answer. So everything's the same except the turning points. You'll notice that the turning point for the correct graph is here, and I've drawn mine on this side. Now, you wouldn't be expected to know that the turning point is there, and that if you draw it like this, it would be fine. And that's if you draw it without a CAS. In the situation where you would need to know that that is the turning point and that is the turning point and be able to label the turning points is if you had your CAS calculator. So if it was tech able, you would need to make sure that you put the turning point in the correct spot. And you could also, of course, label the coordinates of the turning point. But at this point, if you don't have a CAS, you're not expected to know where the turning points are.